All right, guys, welcome to the weekly FBA Rockstar Hangout. My name is Charles Leslie, or Chaz, as most people know me as. If you're taking time out of your day to be on the live call, I appreciate that. It's been kind of a wonky schedule for myself this week, so we're not on our regular Tuesday schedule for this call, but moving forward, we will most likely, at least 75% of the time, be on Tuesday nights. So this one's coming to you Friday afternoon for myself, evening if you're on the East Coast. We're at 3 p.m. right now. So I wanted to do kind of a follow-up video because running this Facebook group, if you're watching this recording on YouTube, which is where most of our Facebook group people come from, you probably saw my step-by-step guide where I showed my screenshot and I went step by step and showed how I shipped everything out. You know, printing off labels, all that kind of stuff. And there was a lot of follow-up questions about, do you need a business license, reseller certificate, all this kind of stuff. Especially inside of our Facebook group, we have almost 450 members, which is nuts because a week ago I said 200, right? It's insane, the growth of this thing. And so with that, we have a lot of new people. So with new people coming in, I know I was there myself when I first started. I took a class on how to do FBA, but the instructor, although he was super successful with it and he taught us the bare bones basics of structure-wise how it works, we didn't learn step-by-step how to do this stuff. So when I came home, I knew I wanted to dive in all in with this business, but I had no idea kind of what to do. So I put together a checklist based on what I did then, and I added a few things based on where I'm at now 10 weeks later at $10,000 sales. So I wanted to give that to you guys. So I'm going to break it down into 15. Yes, I said 15. I'm talking bare bones basics. For some of you, this is going to be common sense. For some of you newbies, this might be exactly what you need to get going. So by the time I'm done with this list, you will know exactly from start to finish what to do. Sound good? So if you are watching this, get out pen and paper, notepad on your computer, phone, whatever, and take notes based on what you need to hear and apply. Step number 1. There's 15, so if you want to make bullet points or whatever you want to do. Step number 1, before you do anything, is you need to determine, are you going to create a free, well, I don't like the word free because you actually pay more. You can create a basic or a pro seller's account. Here's the difference. Basic account is no monthly fee, which is why people look at it as free. But for every item, that means you can ship in your stuff and sell them, right? For every item sold, Amazon is going to charge you $1. So if you sell 39 items, they're going to charge you $39. Now, that's fine if you are just sending in baby shipments of like 5 or 10 items at a time, that's fine. But if you get to the point where you are selling more than 40 items a month, you need to get pro account because it is a flat rate, $40 per month and nothing after that. And you get access to the Amazon Sellers app, which is what I still use. I don't use any other apps. I just use the basic one that comes with it for scanning your stuff. So that's step number 1 is you need to figure out where you want to start. For myself, I had the basic account for I want to say a week. And then once I had my first shipment go out and I had that first sale come in, it's like a friggin' switch went off and I said, done. I want to go all in with this business. And I'm a big believer, especially running other online businesses myself. I'm a big believer that a lot of this stuff comes down to mindset. So if you want to be a professional, you need to do what the professionals do. So get the pro account. That's step number 1 is decide which account you're going to start with. It doesn't matter in the first week or so which one, or even the first month. It doesn't matter which one you get. Just start, right? That's the hardest step, is just taking that first step forward. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, download the Amazon Sellers app, because with the pro account, it comes with it. There's other apps out there. I have zero experience with any of them. I know there's like Scoutify and all these kind of things. So you just need to determine which app you want to use. I use it because I don't have to pay for it. It comes with my pro account and it gives me all the data that I need to be successful with this. So that's what I personally use. Other people might use different ones. I'm going to create a file. You guys have seen all the files I'm doing up in our group. So I'm creating different files for information. I'll create a file on the best scanning apps. So you guys can browse through and find the one that works for you. For me, the basic Amazon Sellers app is what I use. Step number 3, once you have those two done, Number 3 is you need to determine a capital amount. This is a business. You can come in this and treat it like a hobby, which is fine. If you just have a few things around your house you're getting rid of, eBay them, Amazon them, whatever, that's fine. But that's, for those of us who are treating this like a business, you need to determine how much money are you going to inject into your business. That means once you inject your money into the business, it is separate from your personal account. You should not be getting your Amazon checks back and using those to pay your bills. You should be getting your Amazon checks back and taking those and reinvesting in your business. When they get large enough, then you can cut yourself a paycheck of like 20%, 30%, whatever works for you. But you need to keep them separate. Now, moving into step number 4. So once you determine how much money, a lot of people start this and they're asking, how much money do I need to do Amazon? You can start with $20, right? Or $40 if you do the pro account, right? Get your pro account, go to Goodwill, go to Walmart, Target, whatever. Get 5 or 10 items, send them in, wait 2 weeks for your paycheck to come back, and then build up from there. That's kind of what I've done this whole time. I personally started with $500, and then I took out a loan for another $500. So I sold, I kid you not, when I came back from this seminar that I took on how to do all this, I sold everything in my house, literally. Half of it was my gym equipment, which I did not want to sell because I do personal training and I'm pretty heavily in the fitness industry. So this is my life in here. I sold a bunch of my shit to build that $500. And then I borrowed $500 in a loan. So I had $1,000 to start with, and I knew exactly what I was going to do with it because I did my research ahead of time. And so I went all in. I did the RA, I did the OA, I did all that stuff. That's retail arbitrage and online arbitrage if you don't know that yet. So I went all in. I started with a higher amount than most people probably do, but you can start with 20, 50, 100, whatever works for you. Just make sure you invest it. You get your paycheck from Amazon, you reinvest it and grow it. Keep going at that. Keep it out of your personal life. So that's my big tip right there, which leads me into number 4, which goes with that. Open up a separate checking account. It doesn't necessarily have to be a strict business account because a lot of banks will charge you up the yin-yang for that crap. So you can either open up a regular personal account, but just keep Amazon separate, especially if you are like I am, where this is going to be a legit 6-figure business this year. I need to keep it separate because at the end of the year, when you go to do your taxes, especially if you have a CPA, they need to know how much you spent, cost of goods, and all these different numbers. And you're going to have to go through your one bank account and sort out these are personal bills. This was Amazon. It's a pain in the butt. I did that for another business of mine last year. It was the worst thing I had ever done. So I have a separate account just for Amazon. Now with that, credit cards. This is a touchy subject because there's people who are anti-credit cards. There's people who thrive by them. There's people in between who like them, but they know they have no responsibility with them. Right? We all remember that first credit card of like $300 and we got it. I remember myself getting my first $300 limit and I'm thinking, my mom told me, be careful with that. And I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna play it smart. The thing was maxed out in a week. It was just typical like 18-year-old, right? So the thing with credit cards is I have been using a credit card for this whole thing. And what I do is I make sure whatever amount I spend, the whole card is paid off. Every time an Amazon check comes in, I am paying off that card and building and building and building. For me personally, it's building up my credit. And number 2 is I'm trying to work up to get an airlines miles card because I travel a lot. So if I can start getting some mileage, that'd be great. Only use credit cards and loans if you are responsible on paying them. That is my one big tip there. Do not take out a bunch of loans and then invest in crap and garbage to send into Amazon that doesn't sell. And then you're stuck with, well, crap, I owe all these people different money and I can't pay it. So that's essentially number 4. Open up a checking account or get a credit card just for the business. Again, caution, credit card, only use it if you are responsible. That's on you, not me. Number 5, seller's permit and business licensing of all sorts. This is where there's no post that's going to answer this 100% for you because every single state is so different. I personally cannot sit up here and give you a whole lot of information on the seller's permit because I am in Oregon where we don't have to pump our own gas. It's actually illegal for me to pump my own gas. So we have gas station attendants that do all that for us. I don't have to have a reseller's permit because for whatever reason, Oregon is exempt. And we don't have sales tax. Kind of a sweet state now that I think about it. But I can't give you information on either of those. You need to talk to a CPA in your state or do your research on Google. Here's the most common question I see in a lot of different groups is, how do I get a reseller's permit? Super easy, guys. Go to Google, type in reseller's permit for insert your state. Same thing with business license. Some states require you to have a professional business license to do what we're doing in the e-commerce field. So in that case, you need to research ahead of time, starting a business in whatever state you're in. Google that. Do some research, see what licensing you need before you can start this thing. The last thing you want to end up with is some type of lawsuit or getting your Amazon account shut down in the long run because you failed to take care of your foundation. Any business is built on a foundation, guys. If you have a shaky foundation and you dive into it without knowing anything, it's not going to last that long. You need to make sure you have the right foundation. So now that we're getting halfway through, again, number one is create an account, seller versus pro. Download the Amazon Sellers app or whatever app you want to use. Set a capital amount. How much money are you going to invest into this thing? Open up a separate account or business card. And again, keep everything separate, especially if you're going to do this full time. Seller's permit and regular business licensing, you just need to do your research. Go to Google, look up your state. There's no one in this group can help you figure that out except for you because every state is so different. It'd be nice if they were all on the same playing field, but they're not. Then we go to number 6, which is filing systems for receipts. Again, coming back to taxes, make sure you save your receipts, especially on inventory purchases. Every time you go to Walmart, every time you go to Goodwill, anywhere you drive to, number one, track your mileage. There's apps for that. I actually have, let me pull it up. I think Mileage Q or IQ, something like that, is another popular one. I have one right here on my phone called Everlance. And basically, I open up the app, I put it on my dashboard, and then I hit start, and it tracks my mileage live. The mileage, I think it's Mileage IQ does the same thing. So it tracks it. So track your mileage, guys, because you get at least, I think it's 57 cents per mile. You get a write-off at the end of the year. So track your mileage and track your receipts. Anytime you go out and buy boxes or supplies, you go and buy cost of goods, all of that stuff is deductible. You are going to save yourself so much money if you keep those receipts, get a simple filing folder, and put them in there so you can have supplies for one folder. You can break it down into stores if you want to, Walmart, Target, etc. So have a supplies folder, have a cost of goods folder, I keep a UPS drop-off receipt folder. Every time you drop off your packages, typically they give you a tracking receipt. So I keep those too, just in case Amazon ever has an issue. It's right there ready to go. Especially if you run into an issue where Amazon will ask you for an invoice on your purchases to verify that it's legit. You'll want to be able to have easy access to those receipts instead of going through what I had to go through my first time that happened. I had just a pile of receipts in every room, and I'm thinking, well, crap, which one is this? So just make sure you're organized with receipts, guys. So that was number 6. Number 7. You need to have a printer. Now, this is a big one. The best printer you can use is either going to be something called a Dymo, which is an individual label printer, or you can have a laser printer. You do not absolutely need them. It's your best interest to do it. I still use an inkjet. I just make sure the ink is not smudging especially the barcodes. I'd make sure that's not smudging or anything. So that for me, I haven't hit a point yet where I need to get anything else. It works perfectly for me. So I'm going to keep using it for now. So you can start with bare bones basics. Go to Goodwill and pick up a printer for $15. Make sure it works good. And you can start with that. So printer and then shipping and item labels. This is always a common question that I see. For your shipping labels, this is what they look like. Can you see? There you go. So it's split down the middle. So you have 2 big labels on here. Go to ups.com. This is all free. Go to ups.com, create an account, go to order supplies, look these guys up. They come in packs of 50, and you get to order them for free. You literally go add it to your cart, check out, and it's all free. You don't have to put in your card number or anything. So this is my 4th load of 50. Go to UPS and make that. So that's your shipping right there. If you want to go to the store and pay for them, that's fine. I like free, so I'm going to stick with that. As far as item labels,
over there, maybe?
I use Avery. For whatever reason, they're at Walmart and super easy to get a hold of. These are your standard address labels. They come with 30 of these little ones on here. So when you put these into your printer and you go to print off your items, every item is going to be listed on these guys right here. And you take these off, put them on the barcode. I've already done a step-by-step video on YouTube on how to do all that stuff, but this is just the basics here. Those are the 2 types of labels that you need to start. Then we go on to number. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. We got some feedback. All right, there we go. So that was number 7, which is printer and shipping item labels. Number 8 is going to be a USB barcode scanner. I wish I looked this up before I got my first pallet. I got my first pallet from bulk. Most of you came for that video, actually. When I got that bulk pallet and it had 100 toys in it, that was right before Christmas time. I had no idea that we can use these. And so I had to manually input 100 different friggin' UPC codes to enter these things. It took me like an hour to do. And then somebody said, why don't you just use a barcode scanner? So I got this for like $22 on Amazon. It's USB. So this plugs right into your computer. And so when I'm checking everything into, I use Inventory Lab now. But when I'm checking everything into Inventory Lab, I just simply click, done, rather than have to type that stupid code in every single time. You can do it that way if you are super tight on money. You don't need this. This makes things more efficient and it's easier. But I did my first 3 weeks worth of FBA all just by hand. So you can go in and do that. So that's number 8. Number 9, this was probably my favorite investment in the friggin' world, especially because I do a lot of Goodwill stuff. Those Goodwill stickers, they have the little cutout in the middle, so it's not one smooth peel off. You have to like pick it off. I kid you not, my fingernail started bleeding one night because I had like 120 items. I'm sitting here picking every single sticker off. And I started doing some research and I found out there's something called a Scotty peeler. It's this guy. And you can even see how sharp the edges are. This thing acts as a razor. It is super sharp on that edge right there, which is nice because if you're messing with bubble wrap or stretch wrap too, you can just use it to cut. So Scotty peeler, this thing just slides right underneath the sticker. You have to be really careful if it's on cardboard because it is so sharp that if you angle it down just a little bit, it's going to dig into your cardboard. So you have to be super, super light when you're doing this stuff. But this was a lifesaver. Super easy. It cut my sticker peeling time down probably in half. And with this, I use standard Goo Gone. There's other brands, there's other types, but that works fine for me. On that note, I'm not going to get up, but they're over there. There's off brands of this, and I got 2 of them because they were cheaper, and I thought, oh yeah, they're cheaper. I'm just going to buy those. They're crap. I don't remember what brand they are, but they're crap. They have an orange handle, and they're very, very rounded. They're not sharp whatsoever, and so you have to like dig into that sticker. This is where you go. I just got 2 of these for, I think it was $8, maybe 9 on Amazon. So just go to Amazon, type in Scotty peeler. You'll see a pack of 2. Highly recommended if you do a lot of stickers. And then with that, a rag, just to use the Goo Gone and shine and all that kind of stuff. So that's number 9. Number 10, you need boxes and tape. Holy boxes and tape. You're going to go through a lot of it. I just picked up 50. You can see right here. I picked up 50 boxes from Lowe's yesterday. I'm getting ready to do that big haul of 11 pallets. So I'm probably going to need more than 50. I'm going to start with that. So you need lots of boxes. If you can't afford to go buy them, or if you have access to a lot of them for free, do it. Go to your local grocery stores, go to your big box stores, ask them if they have boxes. They assume you're moving, which is fine. They don't need to know why you need them. But just ask them if they have boxes, and you can just store up your car, come home and use those, which is fine. You can use, here's the thing with boxes, you can use whatever box you want to send items into FBA. I have used diaper boxes and baby formula boxes and all that weird stuff. I even used, I had an excess heater box that had the picture of the heater and all that kind of stuff. And I use that to put my FBA stuff in. You treat it like any other box. They don't care what the box looks like because they take all the items out anyways and they destroy it. So that's why I recommend for boxes is get them for free if you can, but if you need to, I know Lowe's and Home Depot has them pretty cheap. Walmart was, I think, like 30 cents higher than Lowe's was, which is why I went there yesterday. I actually don't know if Lowe's is only a Northwest store. So if that's like, what the heck is Lowe's? That's essentially Home Depot is the same thing. So boxes and then tape. You can use whatever type of tape you want. I've had a few types where I work in a garage, right? So it gets pretty cold out here. So if I leave boxes that are ready to be shipped out overnight, sometimes the tape will start to peel off the sides and you don't want to pick up a box and have everything fall out. So I recommend when you are taping, take the flat part of your fingernails and really kind of scrape it into the box. It helps it stick a little bit better. Let's see here. One Arm Bandit. I love this stuff. I use this, just get it at Walmart for a couple bucks, and I love this stuff. I don't know why. I use some of the bigger names, the bigger brands out there, and they were a little bit thinner. They peeled off a little bit easier, and I really like this stuff. Or you can get it in bulk supply on Amazon, whatever you want to do. But lots of boxes, lots of tape. Get used to that. It's also, guys, supplies is tax write-offs. Save your receipts. Write this stuff down. Keep track of it. This is why I highly recommend keeping a separate bank account or a separate card to keep all this stuff on. Because at the end of the year, you can do one print off and it's all right there, which is nice rather than having to sort through everything. Number 11 is now you have your app, you have your account, you have all the supplies, you have everything you need. Now for the fun stuff. Everyone, especially in this group, and I know it's my fault because I did that bulk video, which not many people have done before, which is why I wanted to do one to show you guys as newbies. Hey, I was interested in pallets. I had no good pallet videos out there, so I wanted to be the one that provided at least one pallet video to show you what they really look like. There's damaged boxes. There's all this kind of stuff in there. So I wanted to show people what it looked like. Now that we have a large growing group based on that video, we have a lot of new people that think that they can sign up and on day one get a pallet. I do not recommend that. What I recommend is you build your foundation with retail and online arbitrage because you have to send in smaller shipments first to get the hang of the whole process. There's a lot that goes into the final picture of those boxes we see, right? I remember my first couple days seeing pictures inside of other Facebook groups. People would post like 10 boxes and say, sending in a shipment. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then when I did my first one, I went, holy shit, there's a lot of work that goes into that. So now I have a whole new respect for seeing large boxes. So when you're doing RA and OA, again, retail and online arbitrage, that means you're going into the stores, you're scanning, you're finding stuff. I highly, 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 highly recommend you do not start with a pallet in your first week. Your first, I would say first month. But I didn't follow that rule. I ordered mine after less than 3 weeks. But I had already established a foundation of I knew exactly how the system worked. I had already sent in like, I think 7 or 8 shipments before I ordered my first pallet. I knew exactly how everything worked. And I knew ahead of time I was going to be getting some damaged stuff. So I wasn't ordering a pallet thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be all like Amazon pristine ready. That's not the case. It never will be. So I highly recommend you start with RA and OA. So go onto websites, go into our files, guys. Our files tab right up top of our group. I put in there tons of different sources for you guys to check out. Go on there, scan your heart out, and get stuff. So that's number 11 is start with RA and OA. Then you can get into wholesale and PL and pallets and all the other methods, right? Do your research ahead of time and be cautious with it. That's all I can say. So I put 13. So there's 14 of these, not 15. So from number 11 to number 12 is going to scan and find items with a 100K, so 100,000, all the way to 1 rank. So 1 to 100,000 will absolutely sell. Sure, you can take some risks and caution and go higher than that. You can go into the 200,000, 300,000, etc. Go to junglescout.com. look up their sales estimator, and you can see exactly a breakdown of each category, and they have a whole rank chart there. Each category is different, but for the most part, if you buy anything with less than 100,000 rank, you're going to sell that thing. So find the stuff with a good rank and a good rating, not a ton of sellers, and start going for it, guys. If you scan an item, let me see if I have something here. I'm actually just getting ready to send out. You guys probably saw I was doing a shipment. These are all split up into my 4 warehouses ready to be sent off. Here, I'll do this for example. Well, crap. Of course, I put my item labels on it already. Let's type this in. I'll show you guys right now exactly how this works. So these, I got a couple of these. They only had 3. I wish they had like 100. So I'm going to open up my Amazon Sellers app. So I'm in Walmart, right? And I actually scored, I'll show you in a minute, another really good score I got there. So I'm in Walmart, and I'm going around looking in the clearance sections, all that kind of stuff, and I see these things hanging up there for $5. Still brand new, in the package, etc. So, of course, since I had the barcode open, but I don't right now, I would simply open up my scanner app, scan the item. I'm going to punch it in real quick. So this is an iFit band. We'll see if that works. There it is. So type in iFit band. This is the nice part about barcodes is if you scan it, it pops right up. If you have to punch in, like I just did, you have to look it up by name. Make sure you have the exact one that you're selling, because there's going to be different colors and etc. So I bought this for $5, and it has it's not a great rank, but again, it was only $5. It has a rank of 400,000. So they're selling not super fast, but it will sell eventually. It has 20 people selling it. I'm okay with 20. It's not too bad. And based on the low price, again, this is your business. You can price this whatever you want to. But based on the low price of $15.99, $5 for FBA fees, I get about $11 back. So all of a sudden, I just turned $5 into $11, and then I subtract, so I made about $6. So essentially, I got 100% ROI. I doubled my money on this, which brings me into number 13. Focus on what ROI is your minimum. For me, my minimum ROI, if I'm out doing the retail stuff and the online arbitrage, is 100%, meaning I want double my money back net. So this is a prime example right here. You guys can see right there. $5 turned into $6 net profit. And this includes, I already have it in here, this includes my shipping cost too. So I already have in there my shipping costs, all that kind of stuff. So after I get, basically what gets put back into my bank is going to be $11 minus cost of goods is going to be $6. For me, that's 100%. I buy it. So I bought all 3 of these that were in there. Now for somebody who's doing more along the lines of large quantity, like if you're out doing this stuff with retail and you're getting just single items, it's fine to do 100%, 300%, whatever you want, but have a bare minimum for yourself. Don't go as low as, 10%, 20%, etc. Unless you're doing very, very large volume like wholesale, you're buying one product, but thousands of units. Then if you're only making like 20 to 30% ROI, return on investment, if you're only making 20 to 30%, but you're doing a lot of volume, that is awesome. You're still making money. So you need to set for yourself. This is where your business model comes in. Everyone's business model is different. For me, if I'm not doing retail, I want double my money on anything I buy. There's a whole like triple rule out there. There's all these different tips. But for me, I don't care about FBA fees. I don't care about any of it. The only thing I care about is how much did I pay for it and how much do I make back. If it's 100% or more, I buy it with a good rank, etc. That's all I do, guys. And I go out a lot. I go out for hours sometimes. So that's number 13 is focus on what your ROI percentage is, your bare minimum. And then the last one is do this, what I just did. So I bought 3 of these, and then I go down other aisles or I'm looking online websites. The websites are the same thing, guys. You can punch in the website stuff into this too. And then you just order, have it shipped to you, and then go from there. So that was 3 items, right? My tip for you is if you have not sent out a shipment, you need to find 30 items and then send your first shipment. That's when you can go to my step-by-step video and do the whole thing I showed you in there, because that shows you how to input into the system, print off your item labels, all that kind of stuff. But this is kind of a precursor. This video recording right here, it's a precursor to what needs to happen before you get to that step-by-step video. So hopefully this helped somebody out. I know something like this, I wish I would have caught on to a little bit earlier. I didn't do a whole lot of research on YouTube my first week or so. So I had to learn pretty much all of this by myself. I was inside of some groups, and some of them were helpful, some were not. And I kind of just had to determine, okay, do I want to make this a business? Yes, that means I have to show up and I have to put in the work, research and the work to make it happen. So there's 14 steps that will help you get your first shipment out the door. If you are still confused or anything like that, reach out to us. This is what I created our group for, the FBA Rockstars. If you're on YouTube right now, go to the description, click on that link, join the group, post a question, go to the search bar and search for your question. Usually somebody had answered it already. Reach out to myself, reach out to one of our admins, reach out to anyone on the team. We are here to help you guys. We do this 100% free, no charging for any of this. So hopefully that helped you out. Again, if you're confused, reach out to us for questions. Aside from that, does anyone on the live call have questions? You can hop on the chat. You can hit me up with any of that. Sounds like I hit everything I can think of. You got your basic account, you got your supplies, you got your knowledge, and you go for it. Really, this whole thing comes down to trial and error. You can ask 1,000 questions to 1,000 different people on how they made 6 figures. You're going to get 1,000 different answers. Just forget it all. Take the knowledge part and apply it to you and your business. You have to get off your butt and go work. That's how you build business. There's no set 9 to 5 anymore. If you have a 9 to 5, you need to put in late nights. You need to get up early, do it on your breaks. You need to work it into your life every day to make it work. If you skip days and let laziness take over, it's not going to work for you. So that's my big tip for you, is just get up and work. That's the entrepreneur mindset, which means you show up every single day, no matter what. I don't care if you feel like it. I don't care. All those different reasons. You show up and you do the work. That's an entrepreneur. That's a business builder. That's what it takes to make this thing work. That's what I've done so far in 10 weeks. It's paid off. I've more than doubled my money I put into this whole thing, and it's been awesome. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully we'll see you inside the Rockstar group. Peace out, crew. I'll see you later.